As you can see, like, if I was on normal Twitter, you would see my reply here, because I replied to this tweet. Netflix censored me, and I need to make a formal apology to Netflix. We'll get to that in a second, okay? Let's talk about One Piece. So, there's a lot of stuff we need to get through. Let's talk about the big one. Matt Owens, the writer and executive producer of the One Piece live-action series, has announced he's stepping away for a break to focus on his mental health. So this is what he posted on, I think it's Instagram or whatever. The last 6 years working on the live-action One Piece have been a life-changing journey. A dream come true. It's also been a lot. So I'm stepping off the Going Merry to take a break and focus on myself and my mental health. Thank you so much to Oda, Shueisha, Tomorrow Studios, Netflix, and the entire cast and crew for your trust, partnership, and hard work. For now, I'm gonna take a break, do some therapy, try and rank up in Marvel Rivals, and come back refreshed for the new adventures that await. Thanks to everyone who has supported me. See you real soon. Now, Matt Owens, the GOAT. Rest, my king. You deserve your rest. Rest, come back in full spirits, and it's gonna be fine, right? Hopefully. Now, there have been a lot of reactions about this. A lot of reactions in both directions. Some people are saying this is the end of the world. This is exactly like when Mike and Brian left. This basically means that something behind the scenes has gone horribly wrong. Either Netflix is shutting them down and he just says, like, I don't want to work on this anymore. Like, you guys are doing something I don't agree with. I just want to step away. It's all too much for me. Some people are saying it's nothing. So let's talk about this a little bit, because I think the truth is right in the middle. So we have from One Piece live action updates right here. Let's avoid jumping to conclusions or speculating about Matt Owens' break and its impact on the show. His focus on mental health is personal. It might have nothing to do with the future of the series. Let's support him as he takes time to recharge. Right? So fully on board with this. If he wants to leave, no questions asked. Like, literally, it's as simple as that for me. I don't care the reason. If he wants out, he's out. Simple as that. Now, what does this mean? One perspective on this is that season 2 is basically in the bag. Basically done. Like, really, they don't really need him there anymore, right? Like, the whole thing has been shot. Now it's just like cleanup and everything else, right? There is a good chance that he might be back until season 3, and really this is nothing to worry about, right? And he also says right here that he's taking a break. He's not leaving. He's not just like, oh, it's been an amazing journey, blah, 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 and that I'm done. No. It seems like he's talking about that this is a break. Now, he doesn't say how long of a break, which we'll get to, but it does seem like it's a break, right? So one perspective is that this is really nothing. However, if this was really nothing, if he intended on being back for season 3 and his work on season 2 is basically done, would he have posted this? I don't think so. So I think the truth about this is a little bit in the middle. I think he doesn't know if he'll be back for season 3. And I don't think it's certain that he's going to be back at all, really. I think he is taking a break. For what reason? I don't want to speculate. That's his business, like I said. But I don't think this is a situation where he's taking a break until season 3. Right? I don't think this is that, because I think if it was that, I don't think he would have posted this. Because no one would have really... Like, it wouldn't be a big deal. Like, if it was literally just a small... I mean, it's basically a vacation. If he was taking a vacation, would he make a post about this? I don't think so. And the way this is phrased, if you want to dig into the phrasing, it does seem like, you know, he's talking about a grand journey and that he's kind of, you know. So I don't really know what to think about this. Now, granted, the team behind the series is great in its own right. So is Matt Owens stepping away basically like a super, super bad thing? I don't think it's good, but I also don't think it's the end of the world. Whenever you have a big shakeup behind the scenes, it's kind of a toss-up of what's going to happen. A lot of the time, you will see like clashing visions, and that's usually pretty bad. But then again, sometimes you get a bit of a creative shakeup, and it's just better because of that. And because One Piece had such a long development journey initially, season 2 and season 3 might already be very different because of that, right? Because 6 years, it was basically, well, I think it was closer to like 4 or 5 for season 1, but it took a lot of time in like early development. Whereas with season 2 and season 3, they're already running. Like, they have a good pace going, and it's going to be different. Now, what kind of different? I guess we'll see. So, I think Netflix is stressing him out. I don't know if it's Netflix. It could be something completely personal. I don't want to speculate about it at all. He doesn't say anything about Netflix. He doesn't say about anyone else. It mentions nothing about like creative visions, nothing. It's literally just focusing on myself and that's it, right? So, again, if he wants to just leave, he can leave. If he never wants to return, fine. Do you think the executives are already putting their fingers where they shouldn't? I remember they wanted Alabasta this season anyway, and Matt stopped them. I mean, speculating about like what the executives want is always very complicated, because I've heard of a few things behind the scenes that seemed so absurd that I didn't want to believe them. And based on everything, this was around like Avatar and One Piece, right? I heard a few things that to me, it seemed a bit absurd. I didn't really take it seriously. And with everything that's been coming out now about Season 2 of Avatar and Season 2 of One Piece, I don't think it was true. But there are still inklings of like executives wanting this, executives wanting that. And there was like a strategy shakeup behind the scenes at Netflix too, with the whole WWE thing. So it's really hard to speculate what Netflix wants. And One Piece was such an expensive series. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I hope it's not. I hope that after the success of Season 1 and after the success that One Piece is having in general, I would expect that the executives are kind of just hands off, right? Because if you look at something like, if you look at the old Electric State, this was $300 million, and it's still sitting at 15%. The audience score is very high, so I don't know. Everyone I've talked to about this movie says it's miserable and boring, and this was $300 million. So, like, if I was an executive at Netflix, basically anyone who is doing stuff that works, I would be very hands off. If it's working, don't touch it. If it's not working, get in there and micromanage it, right? And for the love of God, stop greenlighting 300 million projects. It's a waste of money. It's hard to speculate. It's very hard to speculate. Maybe he just wants to watch the One Piece anime return? Maybe. At least we have Oda behind the scenes to give us some confidence, but I wonder if they will find another showrunner who is as passionate or respectful of One Piece as Matt Owens. Every single time I heard Matt speak about the intention of Oda, that's when I knew he was the guy. He was the guy. It wasn't about what Oda wrote. It was about why Oda wrote it. And that is infinitely more important when it comes to this kind of stuff. It doesn't matter what's on the page or what's on screen. It matters why it is there. And if you understand why it is there, you can change it. If you understand the original vision and the original intentions of the author, you can change a ton of stuff. And it will work. But just changing stuff for the sake of changing stuff, that is when all of these fail. I made a 45-minute video about this on the main channel. It's called Why Live Actions Fail or something like that. So whenever I heard Matt talk about it, and I talk about that in the video as well, there was the post that Matt made about going back and forth with Oda and talking about, he explicitly mentioned that he was talking about Oda's intent. That's when I knew it was going to be good. There it is. I saw this and I knew we were in good hands. So this is Owens. It's not an exaggeration how involved he is, and he and his team were in the show. They saw outline scripts, dailies, cuts. Sometimes he would see something and go, I imagined it like this, which was always incredible to hear. But if he saw something that he had a question about, he would bring it to us. He would explain what the original intent was, and the process became an ever-evolving conversation. This is what you do when adapting something. You can change so much about a series as long as you understand what the original intent of the author was. And I think that's what everyone gets wrong about live-action adaptations. It's not about making changes. It's about why you are changing something. Because you need to make changes a lot of the time. You absolutely need to. And I talk about this in, right here. Translate, do not copy, most of the time. And please respect the material. The whole video. It's a whole video right there. My name is Ong. The other showrunner they hired for season 2, Joe Trackis, did the live-action Percy for Disney+. Really likes One Piece, and he doesn't inspire confidence in me. I don't know enough about him. I don't. I'd have to listen to what he's talked about One Piece and stuff. It's hard to say what this means, because on one hand, I do really want to be like, he's just taking a break and that's it, but at the same time, he made a post about this, right? And it does kind of seem like that if he's making a post about it, he thinks it's a big enough deal that he needs to talk about it, at least in some capacity, right? So Regardless, season 2 is in the bag, so we'll see what happens with season 3. What could be the long game plan for One Piece live action? Are they thinking of adapting the whole story of One Piece? I mean, I think with One Piece, Netflix is taking a bit of a different strategy. Ideally, as long as One Piece is not actively losing money, I would expect Netflix wants to do as much of it as they can. That's what I would assume. Why do I say that? Because I think it just literally makes sense as a ticket item into Netflix. Right? The reason why they make these dumb movies that cost $300 million is to get you onto Netflix. They don't intend to make money with the movie. It's the same thing with Stranger Things. I don't think Netflix considers Stranger Things as an actual profitable entity. It's profitable because it's on Netflix. And I think they need to do the same thing with this. So I think ideally, as long as they have the anime and they're going to be doing the anime remake, I've said this millions of times, but the funnel there from live action into the remake into the old anime, the amount of time people will spend on Netflix watching it is absurd. So ideally, Netflix would have this going for as long as humanly possible. Unless it's like actually burning money, I would expect them to go as long as they can. There's a few more One Piece things to talk about. Let's talk about this. Netflix. As you can see, like, if I was on normal Twitter, you would see my reply here, because I replied to this tweet. Netflix censored me, and I need to make a formal apology to Netflix. We'll get to that in a second, okay? Let's watch this little cute video. The seas are full of pirates, but this marine is making her mark in season 2. Julia Rewald, I don't know, is suiting up as Tashigi, and she's got her sights set on justice. Get the inside scoop as she looks back on our journey of filming this legendary adventure. There she is.
What did you learn? Well,
Netflix, you had a person on set. You should have used the real voice. The AI voice sounds cursed.
Really did learn how to sword fight.
Most impressive character.
Robin.
Unfathomably based and correct.
Advice for your character.
Keep both feet planted on the ground. Keep your center of gravity.
One
You don't want to fall down the stairs?
trait you wish you had.
I wish I could be as proficient with a sword as Tashigi is.
Most
Based.
impressive set.
Lowdown.
What prop are you taking home?
My marine jacket and my purple gloves because they're cute.
What will you do after filming?
To hug my dog.
What will
Also based.
you miss the most?
My friends.
Describe season 2 in 5 words.
Fun, action-packed, beautiful, heartwarming, optimistic. Yeah.
Okay, so very cute little thing. I wish they did more of this stuff. I'm like, this took 60 seconds. Like, literally. This was very easy to make. You don't need to pay anyone to make this. I wish they did with all of the they're probably going to, right? They're probably going to go through the whole cast with this. I wish they did more of this stuff. I think this is good promo. Big W's to Netflix. Now, as you know, I like being funny. So what did I do? I went through this little video and I saw this. Right? And as you can see, the little goofy caption says Logtown. So what do? I mean, I'm a funny little man on the internet. So I go over there. I was one of the first people there, and I make a little wait a minute, I can't even see it. Hold up, I need to bring it up. I think if I go through media, there it is. No, that's not it. There it is. So I make a reply. I'm just goofing around. I said Logtown, and then I use the funny gif of a minor spelling mistake, because it is a minor spelling mistake. And what does Netflix do? They censored me. They deleted my response. So what the hell? And I'm over there, like, the caption says Logtown. They hid my reply. Why would you do that? What the hell, Netflix? So Netflix, I was thinking about why would they do this, and I came to a conclusion. I think they might have assumed that I'm trying to, like, take a jab at the actress, which I obviously wasn't doing. Right? I was goofing about this. Like, come on. But they got rid of my comment. I think they probably thought I was trying to be mean. I didn't mean to be mean. I was just talking about the goofy caption. Come on! It's a funny meme! People always do this. God damn it. Bro got Buster called? Yeah, I did. I did. And they probably wanted to get rid of it because I was always, not always, I was one of the first replies on the tweet too. So they probably thought I was just being annoying. Which again, I wasn't. Netflix. Come on. I'm just a goofy man on the internet. You know, it's no big deal. I'm sorry, Netflix. I just want it to be funny. Yeah, right there. Like, he's gone. He's gone. The set behind her is the restaurant of one of the chefs in the competition that Sanji's part is in the filler. This one right here. E. coli's Trattoria? Maybe. I don't know. Blocked from future posts forever. Do you know the original source? It's Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 14, right? Isn't this the end of A Realm Reborn? Or am I completely mixing stuff up? Netflix. I think we can make this up, okay? I have an idea of how we can make things up, you know? It's gonna be fine. We can be friends once again, right? I'm not gonna say I need payment. I'm not. But what you could send me is the Baratier set of the Lego thing. Just send me a Baratier Lego set, and I will never talk about this ever again. About that time, Netflix censored me. I hope they don't think that I'm being mean again. This is a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It looks like they're going to adapt the filler in some way. Logtown is only one episode, so I don't know about that. Get fit so well with you basically getting banned. Should we call Saul? I think after this, I think we should call Saul. Frankly, yeah, I think we should. I think it's time we call Saul. And I think we tell them that there was this goofy man on the internet who just wanted to talk about funny Netflix things. And Netflix invited him to Lake Laogai. Or I guess Impel Down. It's kind of sad. The guy sacrificed himself to stop Bahamut. Could be that they don't like the implications of a scene like that, or they're super sensitive about Final Fantasy spoilers. No shot. No way. I assume they just meant I was trying to be mean. Which is kind of sad, because I wasn't trying to be mean at all. Like, because if I think about it from the perspective of Twitter is the worst place on the planet, they might have assumed I was goofing on, like, her pronunciation or something. Right? That's what I would assume if I was thinking about Twitter being the worst place on the planet. Because I just made it with no context. I just literally minor spelling mistake. Anime Japan 2025? You mean the thing that happened, like, just now? This thing? Because I saw Arthur was talking about this. The One Piece and Love spin-off anime will be shot entirely in vertical. I love how Arthur just... This is what I do, by the way. This is how I accentuate the fact that I'm writing something and I want to be informative, but, like, at the same time, I'm also expressing my dislike for it. Is going to be shot entirely in vertical, question mark, and consist of just short episodes. Arthur was fuming about this because they announced nothing. I thought there might be, like, more news on this, but really, no. It's just, like, hand towels, and there's going to be, like, a couple of episodes back to back. Not really much to talk about here. So, I don't know what this is, by the way. I just saw this. But that's basically all the One Piece stuff. So, the takeaway for this is, unfortunately... where did it go? I lost it. But the takeaway for the Matt Owens thing is, on one hand, it could be nothing, but at the same time, I think it is maybe a little bit something. So, we'll have to wait and see. I don't think anyone should just, like, start writing blank checks that it's all doom and gloom. But there it is. There it is.